Here I'm is. Yeah, I know you probably thought, well, damn, what's wrong with this zombie? Just trying to get everything straightened out, ready to go for another thrilling episode of Break On Through. I want y'all to look at something. I'll show you in a minute, I reckon. But, well, it is in the books. The 40-year anniversary show is in the books. And I guess you probably guessed correctly that tonight basically going to be a recap and a thank you episode to everyone that had something to do with it. And I'm going to tell you something. I've seen many reviews. I've seen lots of people giving their opinion about the show and telling how much they enjoyed it. And I want to tell you something that it makes me very happy and very proud. And because, and I'm going to spend a minute on this, a little bit of self-deprecation again. I'm not going to spend too long on it. Some people can take that shit way too long, and it gets exhausting. I'm not gonna try to exhaust anybody with it, but I'm gonna tell you, I was not happy with my performance because I was not at full tilt boogie like I had planned. If you remember last week, right here on Break On Through, man, I was feeling pretty, and I was keeping it from you guys just how rough I felt. I mean, I know a bunch of you were like, damn, you look like shit there, son. But I'm telling you, man, I had a fever. I was aching. And I thought, man, this is going to be the flu. And I'm going to be this way for about 4 days. Luckily, that was not the case. There's some people I'm going to thank for that. One is the First Lady, my wife, Rebecca. She is I've explained this to you guys before. She's a holistic health coach. And she knows all the things to take that's not part of Big Pharma's plan to kill us all. And, natural things that are way better for you. And man, with the help of her and with the help of our new good friends, Clinton and Valerie. You guys know Clinton is Clintonzilla on here, but there's Clintonzilla right there. And man, shit, what day was it? Wednesday, I guess. I met them down in Rock Hill after I got off work, and they gave me a back seat full of all kinds of natural remedies and natural medicines and that they made right there in the home. And I tell you, Clinton and Val, I cannot express to you enough how much I appreciate you. And of course, and that's something I said at the show, and I guess some of you were maybe shocked to hear it, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time defending it. And I just used the power of prayer because I do believe in it. And I was able to make it to that show and push through to the end. Not to the way I would like to have been. My voice was weak. But I gave it everything I had to give that night. And I don't know, some people say, well, that was a testament, to how we just keep on keeping on. We break on through to the other side. But, the the logo for the 40-year anniversary show that we used is the buffalo wrapped in the barbed wire with the shot with arrows, cut, bleeding, but still charging on through, man. That was a representation of ANTiSEEN and the spirit behind this band. And Mike Harper drew that, and I told him what I wanted, and he nailed it first time. And Mike, I appreciate that. The audience really dug the banner and the shirt and everything, so we'll be using that for a little bit. And I guess what I'd like to do now is just go down the list and thank everybody had something to do with it. And I know a lot of you people listening now, you know, couldn't make it. And I mean, I understand. We understand that kind of stuff, man. Most of us are working class, and we know that taking a trip like that takes a lot of things that you may not have a lot of, and that's money and time. And but man, I appreciate all the support we got through text, emails, messenger. What other ways do we communicate? Every way we communicate: Instagram, email. People from all over the world congratulating us, and I'll tell you that kind of stuff really means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. The Wheats conducted a poll, or they did a little bit of study, and have determined that we had people in Spartanburg, South Carolina, from 19 states and 3 different countries, not counting the United States. And man, our old friends from Germany, the Own Boys, came, and my old friend Evil from over there. We stayed with him during one of our European tours, I think in 2016, and he had this item that I was completely mesmerized by, and he had me on the phone and asked, you know, what we were doing before the show, because he had something to bring me and he didn't want it to get broken and all the show chaos. And man, I thought I knew what it was. I had an idea, but I didn't want to take any guesses because I would be really disappointed if it wasn't. But it was exactly what I thought it was, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Look at this. Look at that statue of the lawgiver. I guess that's a Sideshow Collectibles. What am I doing here? I just go up high. But it don't look like it's doing anything. Stupid camera. Alright, well, you get the idea. Anyway. Tilt this back a little bit, maybe you can see it throughout when I'm talking. Yeah, there we go. So Evil, if you're watching a little break on through, man, I really appreciate it. Yoka, it was great seeing you, the other boy, the Own Boys. The only thing about these shows that I really don't like is the fact that I don't get to spend much time hanging out and talking with everybody. Tons of people here that I would love to have sat down and talked with. Me and my oldest dear friend Mike Cook planned on meeting after the show, and and just sitting and talking where it was quiet, but it didn't happen, man. I was too sleepy, and you know how it goes. But there is a list of people I would like to acknowledge here on Break On Through. And these are the people behind the scenes, the people that are really making stuff happen. And you may not know who they are or what they're doing, but what they're doing is very important to making all this go off. And first off is our road crew, Mondo Braswell and Brandon Robinson. They both put in a 12 to 13 hour day that day. And we're both on point. And I really appreciate it, fellas. Thank you so much. Dave Winecoop, old friend of the band. He's the one that did some of the pyrotechnics we had on stage. Now, I know maybe the one we had for Exploding Barbed Wire Deathmatch may have been a little underwhelming as far as, but it looked great. But, we had to really calculate some of this stuff because the ground zero ceiling from the stage is pretty low, like 9 feet. And man, we've had flames shoot 12 to 14 feet before, so yeah, we didn't want any kind of incident. My old friend Jeff Williams just showed up. Just was being doing anything we wanted. Just gopher doing this. You don't know how important that kind of job is until you need someone to do it. So thank you, Jeff. Clinton and Val. They come to the show as fans. They want to watch the anniversary show, and they end up coming early and letting us put them to work. A lot of times you go, hey man, you need a hand. I say, oh man, we got it covered. But if you're there and there's a lot of shit that needs to be done and you volunteer, I'll put you to work. Everybody tell you that. You stay away from that mofo. He'll give you something to do. All the way from the great city of Mobile, Alabama, came Dennis Highland, hand delivering what's left of our CD copies of Great Disasters, and it looks like a bunch of those sold. And I said, thank you, Dennis. Dennis is part of the label that put the CD version of the album out. Jackhammer Music, based out of Tokyo, Japan. Also, a huge help to the firm. The First Lady and Miss Katie. They were the ones behind the merch booth all night. Now, usually a merch job for us, it's pretty easy going. Pretty busy at the end of the night, but this was as soon as the doors opened for them, and they jumped on it and they got it together. And the tall, thin, long-haired fella you saw jumping all over the stage that night, that was Dave Norton, our official photographer, member of the firm. We got a big firm, and it is an organization that I am quite proud of. I also like to thank the two fellas that were guest musicianing with us at the intro, Mr. Jason Moss and Mr. Mark Wilson. Jason was playing the harmonica. Mark was playing the additional Telecaster. And of course, if you were there or if you saw the videos, you know that the intro almost went completely off the rails. Because, you know, even though we get out there at 12 noon, do a nice long sound check, make sure everything's fine, as soon as we walk on, the mic cord decides it does not want to work anymore. So, I don't know, there was a time when if that had happened, and I walked onto the stage, all kind of shit going on. It happened at Ground Zero one time. But, enough of that. I want to thank our opening acts, Sweet Georgia Brown and Joe Buck Yourself. Mr. Bobby G driving all the way out from Vegas. Man, we had people from all over the place. It's always a great compliment, not anything we take for granted, how far some of you people travel to be with us. And it is a great compliment. And part of what made it such a fantastic show, it was all by design, was to have a lot of the old members come up and play. And at this time, I would like to thank them. I'd like to thank Mad Brother Ward, Doug Knipe, Trip McNeil, Steve Sadler, Tom O'Keefe, and my brother Greg Clayton. And on his birthday, nonetheless. And that was really, really great when the crowd sang happy birthday to him. That meant a lot to him, meant a lot to me. It was the longest show that this band has ever played. 2 hours and 15 minutes. That will not be happening again. You've seen us play 40 songs in one night for the last time. It did go by fast, didn't it, Herbert? I couldn't believe it was over 2 hours. I thought we were keeping it under the hour and a half mark, but they said it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, Jim Earhart was there. All the way from the great state of Missouri. Man, it was great seeing you, Jim. Morticia, Dale Elmore, Brian Dunlap. I'm going to tell you something about Brian Dunlap. On what's the date of that show, Brian? October 29th? I mean, you got to tell me something. Sean says, what a better show for a first ANTiSEEN. Sean, I hope you come to a lot more. All right, Brian just told me, October 27th, his Rockin' Teenage combo, named October, is playing a Halloween show at the Milestone. And for the Halloween show, they are going to perform as ANTiSEEN. So if you happen to be in the area on October 27th, you're looking for something to do, well, go see October do a set of ANTiSEEN classics. I'll be there. I think it's going to be fun. They picked a really surprising set list to me. I mean, they have some of the standards, but they have some that pretty out of left field. I like that. I can't wait to see y'all, Brian. But Mondo says at the 50th we're going to play one song from each decade. Yeah, that might be the case. And there's some people that weren't there that just have a big part in the fact that we are still going 40 years later. And one of those is my friend and my business partner, Mark Rainey at TKO Records. And yeah, without TKO, man, you know, we've been working together now for over 20 years. Over half the band's existence, I guess. Yeah, over half. Still loyal, still part of the firm. The videos are popping up. The guys I know that filmed the entire show, they said they filmed the whole damn thing, and they did. Eric Reno, Punk Rick, all the way from the great country of Canada. Dale Elmore, all the way from the great town of Shelby. Come to Shelby. They've all got videos up. Well, I don't know if they're all up, but I know they filmed them. Eric sent me his today. I watched a little bit. I don't like to watch us. But the video looked good. It sounded good. Eric says Sweet Georgia Brown and Joe Buck sets will be up soon. Coming up next, he says. Yeah, and Jimmy Repo, another of the unsung heroes that keep this band afloat, that are part of the history. Jimmy Repo, and I know a lot of y'all went by Repo Records, and I'm very, very happy that you, when you come to town, you stop in at Repo and give Jimmy some business. I'm grateful you don't stop in and give Jimmy the business, but you do give him some business. And I got two more things to end with as far as my thank you list. But before I get into that, I want to show you a few things that I received over the weekend. And man, I know I've seen major, very popular rock bands be given stuff by their fans, and just be kind of like, and then leave it behind and walk away. My wife once gave Ace Frehley down the road for acting like a fucking dick to one of his fans. That was fucking awesome. But I got some artwork from kids of some of our fans, and I'd like to show that off right now. These next couple pieces are from. You have to forgive me, Clinton, but is this Zara or Zaya? I cannot tell. It's not her writing; it's my eyes. And anyway, she sent these with her parents. I'd like to show you. She found out my favorite color was orange and made me an orange dragon. And you can see the dragon has a barbed wire baseball bat down there at the bottom. Clinton says they call her Zero. Zorro, okay. Zorro, I thought they call her Zero. Well, here's another dragon. A blue one breathing fire. I'm all about it. This one has a barbed wire baseball bat too. And here's me another orange dragon. Barbed wire baseball bat in hand. Wings spread. I'm very impressed. This stuff will go up into Break On Through Studios, or it will go into one of my collections of things that people give me. And here's one from little Annabella. She drew a portrait of me. I think she was very kind on the midsection here. Thank you, Annabella. Oh, and here we drew ANTiSEEN split personality, gargoyle and ape. I love it. I don't know which side I want to hang up. Maybe I'll put it in a sheet where I can see both sides when I flip through it. And my main Zach Hembray, who was at the show, whom I did not get to speak to very long. I did get to speak to Noah for a minute of Music Hates You. Jasper Palmer was there. I got to say hi to him for a second. But this was given to me by Alpha Hembray. He says, "Happy ANTiSEEN 40th birthday, Jeff," where he drew me a Mothman. Better watch out, Callie Hellstrom. Looks like young Alpha Hembray is pretty skilled at a Mothman rendering himself. Of course, he added a camouflage Rolling Stones tongue, which always a great touch in my opinion. So children, thank you very much. Thank you for the parents for bringing these to me. I really appreciate this stuff. I know y'all thinking, "Dan, you're supposed to be scum rock, boo fool." But recently I divorced ourselves from punk rock, and by doing that I also divorced ourselves from all the expectations that go with punk rock and the underground and the rock, the RAWK bands. I don't want anything to do with it. ANTiSEEN is its own thing. We're our own ship. We will sail it wherever we see fit. And at that point, I want to make my last two thank yous. I would like to thank the fans. I thank you guys all the time because, you know, I never ever take you for granted, whether you are at the shows, whether you are halfway across the world, whether you can't make any shows, whether you don't like going to shows, where you just order stuff from us online, you know, where you just say nice stuff about our records and stuff like that, man. It's we love y'all. And no, I'm not crying. I think a lot of bands claim they have the best fans in the world, but to them it's a claim. To me, I think it's a cold hard fact. And that's the way it is. I don't need confirmation from a band in skinny jeans telling me, "Oh man, you guys you don't have the right algorithms." And you know what? I don't care. Last but not least, I want to thank my current bandmates, the Ultra lineup, the General, Sir Barry Hannibal, the Master of Prompt and Gander, Malcolm Tent, Sergeant at Arms, Walt Wheat. They are troopers. They do not know the meaning of quit. They do not know the meaning of surrender. And for them, I am eternally grateful. 3 people whom I love and respect in a way I really can't convey properly. So, I told you guys it's going to be a short one. As you can hear, I still need a lot of rest, and we're going to get some. Me and the First Lady are going to go off on a little vacation this week. Something we never get to do. And hopefully some of that R&R will take place. But don't forget the People's Choice record, which was a table-thumping success at the anniversary show, is on sale now in the big cartel store. Now, I'm going to do some orders tonight before I turn in. But if you order tomorrow and over the weekend, it won't be till Monday before I'm able to get to the orders. So, excuse me. And anyone who ordered right before the anniversary show and you're wondering, where the hell's my shit? It's coming. And I'm sorry for the delay, but you know, when it comes to this mail order thing, I'm a one-man operation, so it's going to happen. I promise you. Well, Dave Norton's photos will be coming out. They'll be coming out really fast and furious here. And I'll be posting some. Dave, you kind of, well, I know I asked you to start at the end, but go ahead and send them to me in small batches from the beginning. And we'll post it like that because, man, you know how it is when I have to operate something on my phone. You know how what a madhouse that turns into. So, but thank you, Dave. Thank you, Austin. Hello, Julie. Thank you, Ron. I didn't even see you there, Ron. Thank you, Jim. Next week, when I return, we will be back on our normal format here on Break On Through, where we'll talk about bands other than ANTiSEEN. Unless, and people, please send me topics you want to talk about. Send me top 10s you want me to do. I'll be glad to do it. I'll talk about anything you want to talk about. David says, thanks for giving me a chance to dance. I mean, I didn't see you clogging. You clogged for Engelbert, but you won't clog for old JC? Austin, you're giving it to me now. You know I'm not going to remember that. You got to write me privately and tell me something. But well, folks, 40 years, 4 decades, 4-0, done. the joke was made in the backstage area. Now the joke is between 45 and 50 to not be added to the memorial video that we played. It was my my design, my idea, but Clinton Zilla is the one that made it come alive. You know, that's the relationship I have with a lot of folks that are a little bit more, well, a little bit, a hell of a lot more technically gifted than I have the design in my head, but with these new modern tools, I do not know how to make it happen. And having these younger folks that do is quite a blessing, and I thank you very much. And well, I'm gonna leave you now. There's a short little BOT. We'll be back on next week, right here. So once again, thank you very much, every single person that has ever been a fan of this band and continues to be to this day. This is your old pal JC, the long-haired weirdo, the unimpeachable president for life. But by the way, how'd you like my new stage pants? Did y'all like that? But thank you very much. Take care, everybody.